Hey guys, it's Cece, and it is time for the Fall into Fantasy Readathon! So if you don't know already, I am helping to host this readathon with Penguin Teen. If you don't know anything about what I'm talking about, I had an announcement video, but basically it's a readathon dedicated to reading fantasy books, and I am one of the hosts. So it is the first night. It is officially, like 35 minutes past midnight on the first night. Usually I start reading at midnight on readathons, but you know what? I had a very important Vine compilation to finish watching, so, but now I'm actually going to try to read, which is what I need to be doing throughout the week. So I have 4 books on my TBR. I am hosting buddy reading and stuff for reading The Brilliant Death on Tuesday. And then one of the other books I'm reading, Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix, is being hosted later on in the week. But I think I still want to start one of those 2 books for right now, just so I can get a head start. I've been reading slow, so I really don't want to leave books to the day they're being hosted. So I'm thinking, because it is the book that is most important for me to finish during the week, I think I'm going to start with The Brilliant Death. So this is by Amy Rose Capetta. I think it's going to be fabulous. I am actually in the middle of reading Amy Rose's book from last year, Echo After Echo, which I have to put on hold because it's a contemporary, but I'm really excited to read her fantasy book because Echo After Echo has really lyrical writing for a contemporary. It's like beautiful. Leia will not get off me. But because the writing style is the way it is in the contemporary, I'm excited to see how she writes fantasy. So I'm going to jump into this one first and try to get through as much as I can tonight before I go to bed, and then I have work off all day for the first day. So I get to spend all day reading, maybe, if I can focus. That's the plan anyway. But I'm very excited to get started, so I'm gonna go get started. I hope everyone is excited. I hope that you guys participated. Yeah, reading time. Good morning. So, like I said, I have today off from work, so I get to sleep in a little bit today because I generally go to work between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m., so wanted a little bit of a sleep in. I have the hiccups, which is fun, so I wanted a little bit of a sleep-in day. Last night I started The Brilliant Death, which I got like 40 pages into, maybe? Yeah, almost 40. I've got my special bookmark in here that I chose. It's a Venice bookmark, because this is an Italian-themed story, so I wanted to use one of my bookmarks I bought in Italy. Now that I know what kind of the vibe of this book is, I think it's going to go fairly quickly, so I'm going to push it off until the day I'm hosting, which is 2 days from now. So, I was right, though, about, like, the beautiful writing of this. It's very lyrical, it's very excellent, and I already really like the story and the characters. The main character is, like, such a fierce, badass lady, and I think that it's going to be a really good book. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to start The Reader by Traci Chee, which is not one of the group reads for this week. It's just one that I want to read, and I'm hoping that I can get through this on the days when books aren't being hosted. This is counting for a couple of challenges, a diverse fantasy, as well as a book that's been on my TBR for too long. That's what this is counting for. So I am going to sit on this couch, I'm going to go and get myself some coffee, and I'm going to try to get through a bunch of this.
Build this city.
Rockin', we'll build this city. Oh, yeah. Oh. Look at that. So we made dinner, and I just feel like we should establish now, this is probably setting a very untrue precedent for how we usually eat. This is like the fanciest we've ever gotten, so do not expect this for the rest of the week.
I chose tots.
Hey guys, it's been a bit. Okay, so it's the end of the day, and I'm going to be going to sleep soon. Not immediately, I might read a little bit more, but I'm going to sleep soon. Today was it was like an up and down day for me. I found out I'm not going to be able to go to Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday, which kind of took me on a, basically I'm going to be working all day Thursday, and Thanksgiving dinner is going to happen while I am at work. But beyond that, I did do a lot of reading today. So I'm on page 216 of The Reader. I'm absolutely loving this. For some reason, before I started this, I heard a lot of people complain that it was, like, slow moving, which I don't understand at all. It's one of those complaints that I hear about books sometimes, and then I read the books, and I'm so baffled by that review sometimes. Because this is a completely action-packed book. It's constantly tense. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe people just don't read tension as things happening, but if it's a very tense book. Anyway, I'm really, really loving it. I think it's beautiful and interesting. I really like the main character, and there are a lot of formatting decisions that I think are really cool. Like, there are these little, like, secret hidden notes at the bottom of the page, so I've been writing the words down as we go, but every now and then there will be a word written next to the page number, and that is spelling out, like, sentences and phrases, and so I'm really curious about that. But I did more than I needed to as far as reading today. I made a chart. Let me show you the chart. What on earth am I doing? Not showing you the thing I made earlier to help me track my reading. I made this chart. So I made this chart, which basically is going to tell me how many pages I need to read a day. I have to read 202 pages a day, and I've so far read 250. And I think I'm going to read a little bit more before I go to bed. But it's a good start for the readathon, and I'm really glad that I'm liking the reader and the little bit of The Brilliant Death that I read. I think that's good too. So, good start to the week reading-wise. So I will update you more tomorrow. I just got home from work, which was an adventure. We've officially begun the period of the year where it's like Black Friday sales, it's holiday sales. It is overwhelming every single day during this part of the year. I work doing online orders at Target. I find them in the store, I pack them, I get them to go where they need to go, and it's usually a mellow job for the rest of the year, and then once it hits mid-November, it gets crazy. So I'm a little tired. I also had kind of a rough morning, just like emotionally. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you wake up and you're like, oh, today it's gonna be not the greatest day in the world, but I made it through, and it's fine. But it is 4:30, and I just got home, and haven't read anything. I didn't read anything else of the reader last night, so I thought I would update my little, scale thing to figure out exactly how much I need to read every day. Since I read extra yesterday, I can take off some pages for the rest of these days. And before I start reading, I think I'm gonna take some time for myself. I'm gonna eat and chill. And, oh my god, she was opening the door for her friend. They missed each other, so they opened the door so that they could both hang out together. I love them so much. But I'm gonna fill this out, and then I'm gonna take some time for myself before I actually start on my reading today, because I'm a little exhausted, but I have tomorrow off, so that'll be a good thing. I am awake, and my hair is doing interesting things. So I do not have work today. That's why I am in bed, why I am still home at 10:30 in the morning. I actually specifically requested this day off because it is my day to host some stuff for the readathon. It is the buddy read day for The Brilliant Death by Amy Rose Capetta. It is a day that I am hosting some reading sprints later on. Amy Rose is doing a Q&A on Instagram, so like I wanted to be able to be here and focused on doing stuff here. Last night I finished reading the reader. I did it. I finished my first book, A FallIntoFantasy, and I absolutely loved it. I was expecting to like it, but like I loved this book and immediately wanted to have the next two in the series. It was just a really fantastic, interesting book, and I'm really excited to read more in that world. But like that's one book down. And I'm a tiny bit ahead still on my reading pages for the day. So I feel really excited about that. I'm gonna get up and I'm going to drink some coffee and possibly watch a little bit of YouTube before I get started on doing other stuff for the day. I'm pretty pleased with how my progress is coming so far. I'm pretty excited. Okay, so Q&A with Amy Rose is underway. That is happening on Instagram, which is exciting. I am trying to follow live to see as she answers questions. I'm excited about that. It is about 1:30 in the afternoon. I still haven't done any reading yet, but I'm planning on doing most of my reading tonight during the reading sprints that I'm hosting. So that just hasn't happened yet. I will work on it. But I'm about to leave the apartment to probably go grab some food and to check the mail before I have to be like confined to a couch for reading sprint purposes, so I think I'm gonna go do that. Also, I'm gonna do a quick outfit of the day because I'm feeling pretty cute. In case you guys don't know, this is the mirror in which I take all photos of myself ever. So I am wearing a long-sleeved cutoff from Forever 21. This big, wonderful, soft, oversized sweater is from Target. I don't remember where I got these jeans, but they're Arizona brand jeans, so options are limited. Probably JCPenney, but I don't know. And then these are my new boots from Payless. And I'm feeling pretty cute. So I'm gonna go get some food. So good news, bad news. Good news, my owl crate came. Bad news, I left my lights on in my car all night by accident, and now my car won't start. So I'm going back upstairs. I got my roommate's car, everything worked out. Now we have McDonald's and it's okay and we can jump my car later. Guess whose car didn't start again this morning? If you guessed me, you'd be right. It was my car that didn't start again this morning. So that's fun. I had to go to work at 7 a.m. and I should have left at about 7:50. So at 7:55 I was sitting in my car trying to start it and it wouldn't start. So I had to run back inside and beg Brian to let me take his car. Which, like, I didn't have to beg. He's a very nice person. I just said my car wouldn't start and he gave me keys. Reading sprints yesterday were fun. I have never done reading sprints before, so I was really, really nervous to run them for the first time, especially for like a big readathon, but I had a really good time. I had a lot of fun with the people who participated, and I got a lot of reading done. Reading sprints was the only part of the day that I actually did any reading. I didn't do any later on, I didn't do any earlier in the day. So I came in under goal, page number wise. I think I read about 150 pages when I needed to read about 190. So a little under goal, but I am enjoying The Brilliant Death. At the beginning, I was sort of feeling like I was having a harder time settling into the world than I usually do with a fantasy. And now that it has reached a certain part of the story, I am very, very much into it, and I love the narration. I really love the main character, so I'm enjoying that a lot. But today was kind of exhausting. It is the day before Thanksgiving, which means that online orders are absolutely unmanageable. And because I am one of the very few, like, long-term people who's worked at Target, it means that I'm not officially in charge of a lot of stuff, but unofficially in charge of a lot all the time. I've been running around constantly in the back room explaining, training, trying to get stuff done, explaining stuff to the new people while also relaying issues to the actual senior members of staff. My head hurts and I need some caffeine. And I need to sit for a bit before I think about reading. Guess what? I actually managed to read things. Yay! Not enough things, but things. So I finished reading The Brilliant Death by Amy Rose Capetta today. That is what I sat down and I dedicated myself to. I read like 160 pages in one shot without taking a break. It was a lot, but I wound up really, really liking this. I wasn't sure about the first half, like I was liking it, but I was feeling some distance from the main character. All of that totally vanished by the middle, and by the end I was really in love with the characters. I loved the romance. I loved how this book talked about gender so much, and I'm really excited to see what future books in this series hold, because this ended on a note that I was like, you know, it felt good. It felt like a note where I can live with waiting for a sequel, but also I want to know more about this world. But I started reading a tiny bit of Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix before midnight hit. I got about 16 pages into this, which is like 2 chapters, I think. And in reading those 2 chapters, realized that I remembered nothing about the first book, Forest of a Thousand Lanterns. I remember nothing. So the difference is, Forest of a Thousand Lanterns and Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix are parts 1 and 2 of an East Asian-inspired, like, Snow White retelling. So the first book was about the sort of evil queen mythos, how she comes into the story, her backstory, and the second book in the series is about the Snow White character. So it takes place a long ways down the road from Forest of a Thousand Lanterns. But I literally remember nothing. So I'm working until the evening on Thanksgiving, and my family's Thanksgiving is in the afternoon. And then I was going to drive up there, but I work the next day, and I just decided that I already have been having kind of a hard time going into the holiday season due to changes in my life from over the summer, due to relationship changes. It's just been like a hard time of year to go into, so I decided that I was going to do no Thanksgiving. If the choice was partial Thanksgiving or no Thanksgiving, I'm going to just do Friendsgiving, and Brian and I are going to do our own thing, because that's what's going to be better for me. But tomorrow, I don't know what my mood's going to be. I'm hoping okay. I'm hoping that I'll be okay. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to get a bunch of reading done after work, which is going to be this much of a nightmare, but I'll live through it. I've lived through one Thanksgiving working this job. I can live through a second one. Hi all, it's evening again, and I'm sitting in the living room again. But look, I have a buddy this time.
We're having pie.
Oh, look at this pie!
With whipped cream.
Look at this pie! You can't see it!
It's delicious. Just the right amount. I had to cut back a little bit.
The perfect amount of whipped cream. No, we do have pie though. It's in there. I just already ate all my whipped cream. So we had our Thanksgiving feast.
Mm-hmm.
Feastastic.
We went to 2 different buffets.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were both, one was closed, one was closing.
Yeah.
So we got it to go from that buffet.
We did get to go from a buffet for Thanksgiving. Friendsgiving.
Mm-hmm.
For Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving. And then we watched Friends.
We did!
Thanksgiving special
So-
for Friendsgiving.
You know what? We really lived our best lives. You know who accompanied us on our Friends watching? All of our friends. They all watched Friends with us.
Yeah. It was great.
As a minor non-Thanksgiving Friendsgiving food-related update, I read a lot more of Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix. I read a summary of Forest of a Thousand Lanterns, so I actually remember what happened now. And it's kind of slow going. I'm not liking this as much as the first one. There's your reading update for the day.
I don't know how to read.
You don't know how to read.
I just don't know how to read on Thanksgiving. Too much to eat.
It's true. I read like 160 pages.
Yeah.
Instead of 200, which is what I was supposed to read.
Close enough.
Close enough? Thank goodness, because it just hit midnight. Just hit midnight. It's 12:15. It's a little after midnight.
It's pie time.
We gotta eat our pie. It snowed! Woo! So, I did not vlog at all on Black Friday because Black Friday was a terrible, terrible day, but we have moved on to a good day. We've moved on to a good day for so many reasons. One, it's no longer Black Friday. Black Friday, working retail, is ungodly. It is the worst. It is the worst. By the time I got home at 6:30 p.m., because I stayed really late to help everybody, I was so exhausted that I collapsed on the couch, warmed up leftover Thanksgiving food, and didn't read at all. Like, that was my form of self-care, is that I asked absolutely nothing of myself after surviving the hell of Black Friday. So, took a self-care day, didn't vlog, sorry about that, but now I'm back. It is now Saturday. Today, actually was a lot worse at work in terms of the workload, but it was so ridiculously out of the bounds of possibility of getting done that everyone was kind of chill. Like, we got there in the morning, looked at the workload, and went, well, that's not going to be done by the end of the day, so, like, we're gonna work fast, but we're not gonna work like we're gonna pretend that we're gonna get this done. Which was kind of a nice vibe from everybody compared to Black Friday. But that means I haven't read anything since I updated you Thanksgiving night, I think. Like I said in that vlog, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix. I'm having a harder time getting into it, which I know also happened when I read, the first book. Like, it took me a while to get into Forest of a Thousand Lanterns, but I'm just not loving this one quite as much, so I think I want to get over that tonight. I am planning to read the entirety of the rest of Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix and hopefully starting a little bit of Furyborn, but I'm also taking a little bit of pressure off myself as far as finishing Furyborn, because I just have today and tomorrow, and that's kind of a lot to do. The other reason today is good is because today I put in my 2 weeks notice at work, and while I have loved working at Target for a while, the last couple of months have been somewhat not great, and especially have been very, very bad for my mental health. Just, not because of, like, the corporation of Target, but more because of this specific store and the problems I was having at that store. So, I just talked to both of the people in HR, I put in my 2 weeks notice, and it makes me feel absolutely amazing. Like, the mental weight that job has been putting on me for a while is lifted, and there are a lot of new decisions to make now, and a lot of new things that I'm gonna have to figure out, but it is such a relief. It is such a relief. Very excited about that. Plus, it means I get to hopefully do Vlogmas. So if you have ideas for videos, don't share them, because I already have too many ideas for December and all of the videos that I want to make. But get hype, because it's gonna happen. Okay, it's getting cold. Because like I said, it snowed because it's Christmas! And I'm gonna go inside. Okay, another random outfit of the day thing, just because I'm feeling cute today. So I'm wearing a hat that I got from an uppercase box, because it's chilly outside and also it's a cute hat. The sweater and my jacket were both thrifted. And then I'm wearing some jeans. These are from American Eagle. They fit real nice. And some more Payless boots, because that's where I get all my boots. But I'm feeling very cozy. And I'm about to go outside to do a little shopping. It is the final day of Fall Into Fantasy. We made it. We made it to the end of the week. Today is the last day. It is like almost 2 p.m. and I haven't read anything today, but I made it to the end of the week, and bare minimum, I finished 3 books this week. So no matter what I read of Furyborn today, I finished 3 books, and that is more reading than I have done in a week since maybe the beginning of the year. So last night I finished reading Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix by Julie C. Dow. I wound up feeling pretty much the same about the ending as I did about the beginning and the middle. I just didn't like it as much as the first one. That was what it kept coming back to, and what I kept comparing it to is how much I liked the first one, and this didn't quite reach that. But I finished it, and that is 3 books and 6 challenges done for the readathon. The last book I have left is Furyborn by Claire Legrand. That was the last book on my TBR. This was for the multiple POV challenge as well as the new fantasy series challenge. What's really nice about that is that technically I have already read books that count for both of those challenges throughout the week. So The Reader, it was also multiple POVs, and The Brilliant Death is a new series. So if I don't finish this, I still can say that I completed all 8 challenges and only read 3 books instead of the 4 which we were trying to read, because this is almost 500 pages long, so I'm not finishing it today. Especially because my mom is coming over tonight for a makeup Thanksgiving. So I'm currently cleaning my apartment. My mom's coming over, so I have to make it look like I'm slightly less messy than I am. So I'm gonna go clean some stuff and then maybe read. Is the plan. So Fall Into Fantasy is now over. The readathon has concluded. We've reached the end of the line. I had a lot of fun this week. I'm really glad that I pushed myself to actually read a ton during the course of this readathon, because I have read more in a week than I have read for a lot of months of the year as far as 2018 goes, and it feels really good to get that burst of productivity into the end of 2018. It's made me feel a little bit more like myself than I have in a bit, so I'm really glad that I pushed myself. But I didn't push myself too hard. Last night I read 30 pages. 30 pages of Furyborn, and that's it. I read 30 pages, and then my mom and my sister got there for our fake Thanksgiving. And I didn't read any more because I had to work at 5:30 in the morning today, so I went to sleep not early, but early enough. So I don't really have any thoughts about Furyborn, except that it's another fantasy with kings and queens and destiny, and so I think I maybe have to put a contemporary between me and finishing Furyborn, which is fine. I'll get through that. Thank you all so much, those of you who participated in Fall Into Fantasy. I had an absolute blast talking to all of you all week, seeing your TBRs, hearing about your progress, doing reading sprints. I have never been the host of a readathon. I have never been this involved in a readathon before, and it was a really cool experience, and I am so happy to those of you who participated. Thank you for making this week really awesome, especially considering it was a holiday I was worried about getting through. I am so glad that I had so many people that were talking to me and participating. It just made this week a lot of fun. I will be doing like a wrap-up of the readathon, just talking about final thoughts, so if you want to hear more in-depth reviews of the books I read this week, go watch that. And that is pretty much it. That is where I'm gonna wrap it up. I can't believe that this week is over. I'm really proud of what I got done. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for participating. If you did participate, comment down below. Let me know what you read. Let me know how you did. Yeah, just thank you so much, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!